I want to wish everybody a happy St. Patrick's Day. And that's what it is, baby. St. Patty. Hey, Patty. Dude, Patty. We used to have this girl boss, and her parents didn't let her do much. You know, when God didn't really let her do much. She didn't have, you know, she probably had a couple of abilities. But she was in charge of bringing the garbage out to the curb, you know. And we'd be out there by the bus stop sometime, and she'd lug them cans on out. And it was kind of like one of the only times she'd kind of go out and about. And so she'd get all dressed up and even sometimes put her mama's lipstick on and pull them garbage cans out there. And we'd be like, hey, Patty. And she would smile, bro. She smile. I mean, she would get all shy sometimes and even hide. But she would stop pulling the can and hide behind it. So she'd be hiding behind that garbage can, but we'd be like, hey, Patty. Just kind of, you know, being sweet to her or whatever. Just not really flirting, but just, you know, just hey, Patty in her. And she would just be so shy and nervous, boy. Hey, Patty. And she'd be pulling that can out there to the curb. But she'd smile so big when we kind of like be flirting at her, you know. And her lipstick, man, she'd smile so big she'd get lipstick on her earlobes, bruh. She was like that, happied out. And there's something nice about that, seeing somebody get joyed out. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Who was St. Patrick? Let me look it up real quick. Who was St. Patrick? Because I've been to some St. Patty's, boy. Dude, I remember one time I was out, I remember down in Rochester. Downtown over there, and people are getting blasted. They're just like, St. Patrick. They don't even know who, you know. Hey, Patty. People don't even know what's going on, dude. People out there just eating cigarettes. And just, dude, they had one dude, he had his kid in one of those wagons. Like a little wagon. He had a 1-year-old, or maybe a half of 1-year-old. This bitch probably, you know, just however much half of one is. And that was him, the baby. Just a little damn manger. This motherfucker had like a little to-go manger. It's just some hay around that bitch. And he'd stacked a bunch of to-go orders on top of that baby, bruh. Just to keep him warm, bruh. A baby stay warm. Touch a baby, bruh. On its back or whatever. Touch it again in an hour. I bet you that bitch still warm. But yeah, this dude, he was just rolling home, bro. He had like 6 or 7 to-go orders stacked on that sleeping baby, bro. Bunch of garbage plates stacked on a damn 4-month-old cut. What do we got here? St. Patrick. And this is on Perplexity. That's what I'm using. St. Patrick was a 5th century Christian missionary and bishop. He was born in Britain. At age 16, he was captured by Irish raiders and taken to Ireland as a slave, where he herded animals for about 6 years before escaping back to his family. Let's go, Patty. Hey, Patty. After returning home, he eventually trained for ministry and later felt called back to Ireland as a missionary. Okay. Patrick spent years traveling through parts of Ireland preaching, baptizing, founding churches, and ordaining clergy. He is traditionally regarded as the first bishop of Armagh and became the leading figure associated with Ireland's conversion from paganism to Christianity. Dang, he was that dog. He was that Lord dog, brother. We ride here. Hey, Patty. He was that Lord dog. The famous story that he drove the snakes out of Ireland is considered a legend, often read symbolically, since there is no evidence Ireland had native snakes after the last ice age. Wow. So there's no snakes in Ireland, huh? They're all working in politics in Israel, I guess. Or America. Anyway, happy St. Patrick's Day to everybody who's celebrating. Got my green on. What's cracking, dude? Not much, bro. Just got back from Albuquerque. They put so many kirks in it, you know, by the time you're done saying it, you're gone. You already left. You're like, damn, I don't need, you know, I was there, but I couldn't say it. fast enough because they had too many Albuquerque. Have you tried the green chilies? Bro, if you haven't been to Albuquerque, then you don't know what it's like, bro. When you get there, it's very Latino, it's like a lot of like essays who never wrote any essays, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like that. It's like a fucking like, but it's also like a lot of hardworking, good people there. A lot of kindness, bro. You know Mexican culture, bro. It's a blast, dude. They have a blast, bro. And that most of our laborers in America, most of the hardest workers are Mexicanos. Not all of them, I'm not saying that. And everybody's kind of taking their turn over time. If you look through history, all cultures have taken their time of being hard workers. And some are more prevalent now than others, but it's for sure they got a lot of Latinos there. Latinos aquí Latinos. And bro, but you got a lot of construction babies down there, children born out on you'll see in the street they'll have 2 kids, even the children are just involved in trades, I saw 2 kids just throwing a piece of drywall back and forth. You'll see a homeless dude, he'll have a sign, but it's written in drywall and it's really edged really well, and he's got baseboard at the bottom of his sign, like even shit like that. You're like, damn, this. You'll see a dog house there. Just the shingles are done really well. There's just like a Latino guy just drinking under one of the eaves of the home. But yeah, man, it's a place you grow to love, man. But I'll say this about Albuquerque, bro. They don't like doing 2 stories on nothing. Everything is just one story, bro. Only one story. It's almost like for a long time, they maybe didn't have a ladder. And then finally they got a ladder because there'll be like 50 miles of just 1-story houses, just like ranch style home. Just, have you tried the green chilies? Everywhere you go to eat. We went to a place. I went to watch my friend Diego's sister was playing basketball out there in the state tournament. And so we went to watch her game, and it was cool. It was at the pit where the Lobos play, where the New Mexico basketball team plays. And they won their game. They lost their second game, but you'll get them next year. That's the vibe. And, yeah, it was just great, bro. We went to a place to eat called Frontier. Oh, it was so good, bro. It was just so fucking good. Hey, Patty. But it's like, no matter who you talk to there, they're just like, yeah, have you tried the green chilies? They'll have a dude in a coma or whatever, and he'll finally like start to say something. And they'll be like, he's going to talk. And he'll be like, have you tried the green chilies? It's all anybody cares about, bro. You could be going to jail, and they'll be like, how do you plead? And they'll be like, I've tried the green chilies. It's just, there's something about it, bro. That's just their thing, bro, the green chilies over there. So... But it was a blast to get to go over there. We just went for the day, caught the game, and came back home. What else is going on? Well, personally, I guess there's. This episode we're gonna talk to some bus boys. We're gonna talk about the Bus Boys movie. The tickets for the movie go on sale March 16th. So that's going to be wonderful. We have some bus boys that have just called in and left voicemails. We put an all call out for that. So that's what's popping. Have you tried the green chilies? It's fucking crazy over there, dog. You'll see a kid in the street just fucking throwing a drill to his friend. It's a construction area, bro. The whole place, a lot of people there working construction, but the place looks like it could probably use a little bit of construction. So it's just a dichotomy over there, But a lot of great people. We had a blast, man. And unique people, bro. Unique. I could see why they say a lot of times UFOs landed out there, because they got people that's halfway to space out there in Albuquerque. They got some people that's halfway to space. Hey, Penny. Have you tried the green chilies, Patty? Like, dude, she chill. She's just bringing out the recycling bin. She's shy. Yeah, we'll get into that in a second. What's going on, dude, with me? I got to check in, man. It's like, I don't know. I don't want to get into like a complaining culture. Nobody wants to hear that shit. What's going on? I started a thing where I'm taking a break from dating and interacting with women. So that's been going pretty good. It's nice. I just wanted to just take a break from like I just wanted to have time to focus on myself and my relationship with my higher power. So just to try and get some just things on track better. And I think like in the world, like you're like a magnet, right? Everybody is like a magnet. I think that's just my thoughts. And you attract certain things and your magnet gets attracted to certain places. And sometimes it's a great spot. But sometimes you got to just check in on the magnet, make sure the magnet's working, see what's going on with the magnet. So yeah, that's what I wanted to do. Because I've been attached to some good metals over the years here and there, some precious metals. But I think I just need to take some time just to kind of look at the magnet and just see what's going on. And I just wanted to try and work on my relationship with my higher power. I've just been kind of sometimes, I don't know. Like I just hadn't really been praying that much recently. And I was talking to my therapist about it yesterday. I couldn't figure out exactly why. I think, sometimes I don't want to do everything I'm supposed to do to take care of myself. And that may not make sense to some people or whatever, and that's fine, but it's like, yeah, sometimes I don't want to do I'll be doing like so many, like I'll be doing good things for myself, taking care of myself this way and this way and this way. And I know it's impossible for us to do everything to take care of ourselves. We don't want to live like as like slaves to like, exactly what we're, every article that comes out or everything we hear, that kind of thing would be impossible for me. But yeah, sometimes I just don't want to do all the things I'm supposed to do to take care of myself. Sometimes I want to I'm not doing that, or there's always one that I'll kind of leave out, or I don't know. I think I can't explain exactly what I'm saying, but I'm trying to. Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I don't want to do everything that I'm supposed to do to take care of myself. Does that make any sense to you, Trevin?
It does, yeah. And you're saying like you're trying to now kind of check in and like recenter.
Yeah, and I was just like, why am I not praying? Like, what am I against? Like, I'm not against praying, I mean, I want a better relationship with my higher power. I think honestly, part of me scared if I do the things I'm supposed to do for myself, then I'm going to have to change. Yeah, that I'm going to have, not change in a bad way or anything, but just that things could be different. And I won't have, I don't know. There's always a part of me that wants to be able to say, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing, I'm not doing that. No, I'm going to do things my way, So I don't know what it is, but that's been something. And so I was grateful today, like even before this episode, I was just asking God for some help, I was just saying, I just feel kind of sometimes exhausted in some ways. I feel like I can't figure out sometimes what I'm supposed to do. Just like in the world, like with work and stuff I can, but it's just like, what does God want me to do? And maybe that's it. Maybe I'm just scared sometimes of asking the God that and try and getting like a real answer. Yeah, what does God want me to do? And then it's like, and this sounds kind of, I don't know if it sounds lazy or what it sounds, but sometimes I get tired of being the one to always have to take care of myself. You know, I get tired of being it's like, oh, okay, here we go again. I got to be, you know, I got to come to my own rescue. And I know that that's the truth, but sometimes I just get kind of tired of it. You know, and I'm not trying to say anything like I'm doing great. But that's just kind of some real ways that I'm feeling. I've been doing good about pornography and looking at pornos and hey, Patty, and masturbation or jerking off or touching your cock, buddy. But then I slipped up yesterday, so I think part of me has some negative feeling about that. You know, not negative, but just like, you know, I think I get tired of I'll get to like 4 or 5 days. You know, sometimes I've gotten a long time. I've had months, but you know, and then I'll just like, I don't know. So it's all good. Just trying to be like, just say what's going on with me. And yeah, that's it. Sometimes you jerk off because it's almost St. Patrick's Day, but that's not a good reason, dude. You can't be like, I'm jerking off because it's almost St. Patrick's Day. That's fucking crazy, bro. That's crazy. Hey, Penny. So that's some of what's going on with me. But I'll say this, it has been nice taking a break from like dating and social interaction with women has been nice because there's been times where it's like, yeah, I have some more time to myself. I have some more time to think. Yeah, and it gives my brain a little bit more like space to be like, okay, hey, what's going on? You know, and to kind of check in with myself. So, yeah, I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that, just that I can work on the magnet, you know? So that's been happening. What else? You know, people message me a lot of times or will tell me, hey, why don't you talk about this thing? Or why don't you talk about Iran or Iran? Because people say it different. And a lot of people will ask me about, hey, Theo, will you talk about this? Or will you say something about this? This is going on. A lot of different causes that are dear to people's hearts and minds. And I understand that. And I wish that I could talk about everything. Sometimes I don't know enough. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I'm burnt out from absorbing, like, you know, you absorb so much horrible stuff that's out there, that's happening, and it just like, it ruins you. It ruins you. It's like, and there's algorithms that are set up, it feels like, to ruin you. So it's not that I don't care about certain things. It's just that, you know, I have to take care of myself. I have to make sure that I'm living and surviving and make sure that my life is okay, and that the people that I'm responsible for through work and family, that, you know, that I'm upholding my place in their lives, you know. So I think that's it. And not that anybody's asking me to answer about that, but I'm sure a lot of people deal with that, where it's like, people like, why don't you speak up about certain things, or why don't you know? And some of it's just, it's too much. Some of it's too much. Some of it, I don't know enough about it. So I try to speak up where I can. I try to speak up when I feel compelled. And sometimes I feel compelled and I don't know exactly what to say. I don't know enough information. So I want to have people on to learn more. And sometimes we have guests set up in advance. And so it's like certain guests aren't the space to have a certain conversation with people. So, yeah, I'm not beholden to anyone about anything like that. But I do want to say that. And yeah, I'm doing the best that I can. Maybe in time I'll be able to have more information about certain topics and do better. I can do better to learn. And I try my best. It's hard to know also what is clean information. And that's a scary thing. So yeah, I'm not apologizing or anything. I want to speak up about that I also have to take care of me. and show up in the spaces that I'm supposed to show up as a human. And also not to like, I don't, it's tough when you attack, it's at times it's a lot. And I'm sure a lot of people feel that way, that it's a lot. But I do see things and I do pray about things. It doesn't mean that I don't know about them, and and that's where I'm at with that. I have spoken about this before, but I do have a lot of uncomfort about America's relationship with Israel, the Israeli political leaders. That's what I mean. I believe that group it just feels like a satanic regime. It doesn't seem, it feels like they just want to cause pain. They just, they don't even know where all the bodies from Gaza are, and they're already moved on to other places that they are attacking, and that America's associated now with their attacks. And I believe that will come here one day. I don't believe that the Israeli leaders, that they have any intention to stop that. I don't see that they have any care for the American people. It doesn't seem like that. I've never heard that spoken. And I believe that if we don't speak up now, that our children won't have the chance to speak up, either by law or by worse. And that may sound crazy to some people, and that's fine if it does. If it does sound crazy to you and you think I'm crazy on that point of view, that's okay. I don't, I may disagree with you, but that's okay. I do want to, I worked hard to be able to have a voice for myself. And so I hope at least you just respect that, or I hope at least you just see that. Like, at least I'm trying to say what I want to say. And I don't understand our government's relationship with Israel's leaders and with Israel's government. I don't understand it. It feels like there's this war machine, and then our soldiers are put into these spaces, and they're just there to serve an America that they believe in. And it's no knock against them or anything like that. It's just, it just feels like it's causing a lot of pain and fear. And yeah, I don't understand I don't understand Trump's relationship. I don't understand our political, like, why we are so beholden to this government, this Israeli government that just seems to be obsessed with control. And it feels like bloodlust, like they just like, it's not enough. Like, after what happened in Gaza, I don't see how there could be any other view. But if someone else has a different one, that's okay. That's their point of view. I'm just happy to be able to speak up for myself, even if I'm wrong. Even if I'm wrong, there's a part of me that, even though I feel scared sometimes, that I'm happy to be able to speak up for myself and say that, because it's, having a voice has always been important to me, and I'm sure it is to a lot of people. And they're making laws now. There are bills being presented where we won't even have a chance to have a voice at some point. There's surveillance infrastructure that's being put into place. There's a lot of things happening right now, and some people are like, well, it's too much for me to get involved in. I understand that. But yeah, I believe that if we don't speak up now, and it may already be too late, but if we don't speak up now, that one day our kids will not be able to. And it's disappointing to me too that a lot of our religious leaders haven't said anything. I don't understand it. I don't understand that. But there's a lot of stuff I don't understand, And I think this has been going on for a long time. I do not understand Trump's like infatuation with or like beholding to this government. But they've had, Israeli government's been involved in America for a long time throughout countless political party leaders. So it's nothing new. It just feels very extreme right now, and it feels very scary. That's what it feels like. And I don't understand how our relationship with them is helping America. But that's just me. That's just my thoughts. All right, let's move on. I just had to say that. Sorry, I know some people's like, dude, it's too political, whatever. But I have to speak up for myself. You know what I'm saying? I've worked hard in my life to have a place for a voice, and you may not even ever want to hear my voice again. That's okay. But I have to speak up for myself, even if I'm wrong. And it's just a lot. That's a lot of fear I see of just every day. People around me, like, what's going on here? People from different parties, too, that like this candidate or like this candidate. What the fuck is going on? I have no idea. I have no idea. But it seems super scary. That's the feeling. Scary. The industrial war complex, just like everything, the fact that we know that our foods are poisoning us, we know that the healthcare that after your food poisons you, you go to get healthcare and you get screwed there. It's crazy. It's crazy. And then we get sedate. You start looking at America, dude, people get sedate. It's like, as long as I have my vape and I'm able to watch like some kids do the stanky leg video or something, it's like, then I'm, it's like we've just like slowly gotten sedated. It's pretty wild. And who knows what will happen. But shit went from seemed like kind of mundane in the world to fucking high speed. It feels like. But then you can't get so wrapped up in it that's all you're thinking about and all you're talking about either. Because then that's what they want, They don't want us to live. They don't want us to live. They want us to be alive, but they don't want us to live. But anyway, I know that all that stuff is a lot, but that's just shit that's been on my mind. Hey, Patty, do you try the green chilies, bro? I tried them. Dude, I was there. You're there. You're in Albuquerque for 11 minutes and some guy's coming up. He's fucking got illegal green chilies. He's like, bro, these bitches aren't even supposed to be here. It's just like, dude, I've tried the green chilies. I've tried them and they're great. They're great. And we went to a place called can you look it up, Trevin? It's kind of by the airport, I think. El Modelo. Look it up.
Is it that one?
Yeah, bro. El Modelo. And it wasn't beer. I thought I'd go in. It was just people swimming in a bunch of like Modelo beer or whatever. Some guy doing the backstroke, Oh, shit. Put some drywall on here. I'm drowning. But it was just like the sweetest ladies working in there. I mean, the best, bro. And it was just good, bro. It just felt like, dang. It felt like when you walked in there, it felt like your grandmother loved you right when you walked in, homie. Even the gangbangers, they were taking off their face tattoos before they walked in, bro. There was like a lot of respetado for El Modelo. But it was, I had a good time over there. And shout out to my friend Abby Pavia. She's a great basketball player. And she's got a big heart. And it was great. It was great to watch her team play. Now let's get into it, dog. Dude, St. Patrick's Day. Have you tried the green beer? Damn, St. Patrick was a slave, bro. Did we say that, Trevin?
I don't think so.
It says right here. Let me see. At about age 16, St. Patrick was captured by Irish raiders and taken to Ireland as a slave, where he herded animals for around 6 years before escaping back to his family. Dang, bro. And then he went back to Ireland. Said, I'm going to change the game, dude. That's wild. Have you tried the Catholicism? That's what he was doing over there. St. Patrick spent years traveling through parts of Ireland preaching, baptizing. Baptizing, bro. Dog, don't stay under too long, homie. You'll be late for work. Founding churches and monasteries and ordaining clergy. Dang, he was out there in the streets pushing something that meant something to him. His own surviving writings are the Confessio, condemning violence against Irish Christians. Amen. Okay, I want to talk about bus boys, and we got some callers. We had bus boys that called in, and I'm gonna tap into my, you know what I'm saying. I was a bus boy for probably 7 years. I bus boyed a couple of places, couple times. I worked with a couple sisters one time over there at the first Mexican restaurant in our area, and these two girls named April and May. They were the chefs, and they were anytime you came back to get food or whatever, they got furious at you because they was doing some other shit or whatever, or smoking or whatever. And so, yeah, you'd have to go out to the tables, and shit was late and shit like that, and people left or whatever. Anyway, they invited me to their house one day to party, asked me to bring some beer. I brought some beer over there, and a dog bit me, and everybody there drank all my beer, and I fucking had to leave early. But what else? I worked at Tucson, Arizona. I was a bus boy down there. I was one of the first bus boys to use creatine ever in the history of busing. I think I was one of the top 7 bus boys south of Phoenix, probably for a little while. And I say that with my whole chest. I say that shit pure as day. I was out there, boy. I was out there. I was on the tables. Bread on 6, butter on 11, cleanup on 43. Shit diaper. Some kid, they had a shit diaper over there. Some kid, they brought him in there. I don't even think they ate. They just brought the kid in there to shit in his diaper. And I fucking wrapped a towel around that bitch and sent him out. But I was doing it, bro. I was on the front lines of food use and dishware, dirty dishware. I was on the front lines of that shit. So I know the trenches. I know what it's like to go back there and have to look at the dishwasher, and you bring one more tub and you love that motherfucker because he's in the heat, bro. The steam coming off that fucking the water hose spigot thing, he's blasting, bro. That motherfucker got shit hanging off his eyebrows and shit. He got pieces of fucking damp tortilla hanging out of his eyelashes, and that bitch is still back there blasting them bitches. Getting the platos limpio. You know what I'm saying? And he don't want to, and you can't even look him in the eye when you drop off that last bus tub. Damn, bro. That's the pain of a real bus boy. Somebody who's got the tables and the trays and the tubs and the plates in their heart. When you know, bro, like, I can't bring this to my dog one more time. And sometimes I tab him out. I say, hey, man, like, we a tag team, bro. You know? It's like the World Washing Federation, bro. The WWF. Let me limpio a tub for you, daddy. Get out there and get you a cigarette. And then sometimes he'd have a little pocket of camarones or something on shrimps. And he'd get out there and eat them bitches by himself. Just to rebuild his conscience and stuff so he could get back. I mean, that's a Vietnam right there for some people. So shout out to all the dishwashers too, man. And that last tub, sorry we brought it in there, bro. We know how it felt. But we all had to get the job done. So I want to say that. But we had some calls from busters that have been in the game over the years. People called in. We can go to a couple of calls of those. But first, I do want to talk about the movie. I just want to tell you straight up that Bus Boys, the movie, will come out on April 17th. So that's when you'll be able to go to see it. But tickets are going to go on sale March 16th. So, yeah, I guess first of all, I got to do this movie with David Spade. And I say this movie, trust me, there's a big part of me that's just, I cannot even believe that we did this, right? And we did this ourselves, right? That's what I want to say. I went to Hollywood and you go pitch TV shows and you do all these meetings. You're always waiting to hear back. You're always in this cycle of bullshit, and it's always somebody that was nothing like me deciding if they thought I had the ability or the talent or the capability or if my voice should be heard, right? It was always it's the same type of people over and over again. Some schmuck who had never fucking done a moment of comedy in his life. Some business fuck, whatever. You go to all these things and it's, for me, it was a waste of time. For some people, it's great. It's their stairway to their dreams or to different opportunities and stuff like that. And I had a great time. I met a lot of great people. And I got to develop my stand-up, which was the best thing. Because stand-up was the thing that I liked the most because nobody could give that to their kid. You go audition for some role and then some producer's kid gets it or somebody's son or some bull, But stand-up, they can't do that. Stand-up, it's you. Nobody could give that shit. Look, I'm going to get my son the opportunity. Fuck your son. You know what I'm saying? You can't, with stand-up, you got to get up there and do your job. Now, some people may not like my stand-up, may not think I'm any good at it. That's fine with me. But you have to get up there and do your job. Nobody, it's a thin line. And that's one thing I always wanted. I always wanted my voice. I don't want to do your shit. I don't want to do your I don't want to go play some role where you have me playing this stupid redneck and it's just because you don't even understand that maybe people where I'm from are diverse of thought and are more intricate and aren't just racist fucking people. I wanted more that I don't know. I thought their system was outdated, to be honest with you. And though they, there's always these articles, Hollywood, it's accepting everybody. That shit, it's not. It's not. And I'll say that firsthand. So I just want you to know where some of my energy was coming from. And why eventually I started to do podcasting, because I just wanted to have my own voice. I don't want to read your lines. I don't even believe. I'd have meetings with people and I would tell them about my life or about how I see things. And they would say that it wouldn't fit this narrative. It would, it wouldn't fit this narrative. And so I got tired of fucking waiting for them. And yeah, and then so when I got into podcasting, it was a place where we could have our own voice. And I think some of this movie just kind of followed suit. I became friends with David Spade through Adam Egget, who worked at the Comedy Store. And it was great. I still remember the first time that I went to dinner. I'd met David at the Comedy Club a few times, and then we went to dinner one time, and he gave me a Joe Dirt hat, dude, and it was the best. Because I remember seeing Joe Dirt when I was younger, and it was just I didn't know I thought it was a documentary, because our TV was fucked up. And so some of the audio was different. And I thought it was a documentary about this kid who had gotten left at the Grand Canyon by his parents. And it gave me just such an affection for him, just yeah. Because I think I felt like that as a kid anyway. I felt like I got left at the Grand Canyon, even though I was right there, a bedroom over from my mother, Just how I felt. It matched with how I felt. But anyway, a lot of that's a lot of emo shit. But so David and I became friends, and he's been a great friend. He's got a big heart. He's welcomed me into circles. He's taken me with him to fancy parties where they have fancy silverware and there's fucking, people are stealing shit from the place. That's how nice the shit is there. I've been to a lot of places where nobody's stealing shit because people are oh, this shit's trash. I already got this shit at home. I ain't stealing more just shit. But I've been to places where they got really nice shit with him. I met John Hamm with him. Yeah, just so anyway, just getting to know him was a blessing. And then it was during COVID, we started writing a movie together. And David, even this, I'll say this, he I ran out of gas one time and he brought me gas. And he almost got hit by a damn Kia Sophia. I mean, fucking so close to hitting him and killing. I don't know if it would have killed him. I don't know. He's not the biggest guy, but he could have challenged it. But I don't know. But he brought that shit out, ran across the interstate and shit, bringing me fucking gas. So, I mean, just nice shit, man. And so we started writing this movie because we, and one thing that we found that we had in common was that we both worked as busboys in Arizona. I worked in Arizona under, they had this guy, Sam Fox. He's a restaurateur. He's a friend of mine. He had, this was his first restaurant. And I worked there as a busboy. And David had worked as a busboy over there in Phoenix. And so we had this relationship of bussing in the desert, man. Even when there's water shortages and shit like that, bro. Imagine you got to clean up 20 tables and you ain't got no water, cut. Who are you now? Who are you now? I was still a busboy. So I stayed in that shit, man. I stayed in that shit. That was our Iwo Jima, cut. And so that's where I was, man. And so we kind of bonded on that type of shit. And then we started writing this movie. Yeah, and nobody really wanted to help, and that's fine. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying what it was, right? I wanted to let you know where we were at mentally, what was going on with us in our brains and stuff. Nobody really wanted to help. We couldn't. We reached out to some directors that we liked. They didn't want to deal with it. Our agencies didn't really help. There was some emailing back and forth and some light shit, but nothing really like, we're going to take these guys and we're going to believe in them, We're going to really take these guys and do something. There wasn't any of that. And I say that that's true. And so we got to a spot where it was like, damn, we got to make this or just go by our ways. And we'd spent a lot of time together and made it and written it so far and all of that. And so we just put up our own money. We put up our own money. And then next thing you know, dude, we were making a real movie. And this is crazy. I didn't think it was real until I showed up that day on set to shoot. Because it had just all been emails. It had been David and I writing, and we would go meet at his place, and sometimes we would get Jimmy John's, and sometimes we wouldn't, which I didn't understand. But I would get it on the way home or whatever sometimes. But yeah, we made this. But we realized that we had to pay for it, right? We have to fund it. So we put our money in, and I didn't realize until the day that we got to set. This set, I call it. Look, I'm not locked in on all the terminology and shit, so I call it that. I know it sounds highfalutin or whatever, but until we got to the movie site, the first day, and there was like trailers, there was like a woman with makeup or whatever, or hair conditioner or whatever, Hey, Patty, have you tried the green chili? Yes, I have. And we were making a movie, and it was crazy. The other actors were there that we'd looked, we did all of this stuff. And so that's what we're making, right? That's what we put together, and we did it. We created a movie, and we made something, and it was crazy because you get to the end and I was like, fuck, what did we do, dude? I was so scared. And then you go through the editing and you do all this shit and you start to realize, okay, this is how it is. And so that's what's coming out is our movie that we made completely by ourselves, that these people said no to. I don't care. Fuck them. You said no to me your whole life, cuz. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad you're not on board now. So that's where we're at. And I think it's good, man. There's some funny spots in it. It was a huge learning curve. I'm not saying it's the greatest movie. I mean, it's like a $3 million budget or something. And yeah, I learned a ton. Like if I could go back and do, there's a lot of things I would probably adjust. Like I just learned a lot. I learned a lot, man, about how it would operate, just all these different things. So that was a blessing. It was the most expensive course of education I've ever learned in my life. But if you go see this movie, I just want you to know that that's what it is, right? It's something that we made. We made it outside of the system. And thank you, David, for let me do this with you. There's some scenes in there, dude, that David does that are so good. And this kind, man, it's just like Tim Dillon's in it, Nate Diaz, Chris Avila, Jay Farrow, Trevor Wallace, Jimmy Gonzalez, Michelle Ortiz, Lindsay Normington, Tiago Martinez. Have you tried the green chilies, Tiago? Steve Little, Sky Bree, Brent Morin. There's a lot. There's a lot. I'm missing a ton of wonderful folks. So yeah, all I'm saying is that's what this is. This is a movie that we made that is outside of the system. And we want you to go see it to support this type of thing, because we can do more in the future and we can do it better. And we can help fund movies that other people want to make that the gatekeepers don't see, you know? And that's fine. I don't need the gate, I don't even want to go through the gate, cuz I'm coming up through the dirt, son. I'm through the mud, dog. You keep that bitch latched, dog. I'll be in the yard. And that's how I've always been. And so that's where I'm at. That's where we're at with this. Yeah, so thank you if you go to see it. It's not like what's that movie? Dunkirk or whatever. It's not like that. Okay, so don't think it's like that. It's different. It's not like Sarah Marshall. It's not that, right? This is a movie about two dudes trying to be alive, trying to become waiters. That's what it's about, with some love stories in there and some other type shit. But you feel me. But it's got that busboy mentality in it, you know? I'll be a waiter or I'll get my shit some other way. But we eating. Even if I work at the restaurant, bitch, we eating. So that's the movie. It's going to be out. I can't believe it. It's kind of scary too, because if nobody goes and sees it, you're like, oh shit, all right. But that's okay too, right? I mean, it'll bum me out, but that is okay. I'm proud of like what we've done. I'm proud that we did something. I feel lucky I got to do something with David Spade, man. Like, I don't even deserve that kind of stuff. And I don't mean that in a negative way about myself, but yeah, he's just such an immense talent. And to be able to just be around him and spend time, and the fact that we ended up down this road together and here we are. It's been a blessing. And yeah, I can't even, but like, it's weird to say like, yeah, I'm in a movie. I mean, anybody could be in a movie. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Kim Kardashian was in a short one with some cock in it. So anybody could be in a film. But yeah, that we made this and that our friends showed up to help us make this, man. Yeah, and just the actors and actresses in it. But I know there's some funny parts in it. I know you'll laugh. I'm curious. I think I'm just super curious, like, what is okay to do in a movie? What is, what could we do differently? I mean, dude, we got the first day we started shooting, got moved by a week at the last minute. Like 2 days before, we got moved by a week because of the fires that were out in California, that were like a year and a half ago or whatever. Whenever the Pasadena fires and the Palisades fires. So that was crazy. I mean, just there was so many things that were like, is this going to happen? But it happened. And yeah. So yeah, there's there's just some, it's just like, I hope you'll find some joy in it. It's it's lighthearted, it's goofy, It's dumb. It's fun. And yeah, it's a dream come true to be able to do it. And I promise you that if this one goes well, we will find other things to make. If I don't do good and I'm not the one to be in the other things, that's fine. But we'll create other projects that are funny, that people want to see, because that's really what needs to happen, at least to respect other people's point of view of comedy, and to care, like, I don't even know if voices aren't out there, but it's just like, there's shit that's different. And yeah, I promise that we'll make other cool stuff, whether we're in it or not, but we'll write it or we'll do something, so yeah, that's where I'm at, so let's get this thing out there, bro. But just one more time, tickets will be on sale Monday, March 16th. You can buy them at busboysmovie.com. So you'll be able to get those, busboysmovie.com. If they don't have it in your area, that's okay. It'll notice what area has been looked up. And then as soon as these first, I think 100 theaters fill up or something, if we can sell those, then it's going to let us sell more. So it's an experiment, it's an experiment. And I appreciate you guys' patience. I've spent so many hours editing, going through, watching, there's so many choices that you're a part of in this, and I learned a ton, and thank you so much. I can't even believe it. It's just crazy to even get to do it. Whether people hate it or love it, I don't give a shit what the critics think. Fuck them. The critics don't know shit, The critics don't know shit. Remember that. The critics don't know shit. The critic is some schmuck who's sitting over there who never did shit. That's the critic. That's the critic. Some guy with a pen and a fucking, he probably didn't even have a dip in. He probably didn't even have a Zen in his cheek. So fuck him. The critic don't know shit. I hope the critics hate this shit. Fuck them. Look, I'm a critic now. Hey, critics. Y'all fucking suck. There, boom, I just did your whole job in fucking 4 seconds, bitch. All right, now let's get to some calls from some bus boys. Some players that been in the game. Boy, you know what I'm talking about. Let's go, bro. And look, I want other busboys to call in. Some of these are good, and so I want some other busboys to call in too and hit the hotline. I like to throw these in from time to time just to respect the culture and keep it going. The hotline, as always, is 985-664-9503. Or you can go to the website, theovon.com. There's a place you can send a video on there as well if you want to send a video version of you, and we can put that in the show. So those are the two ways where you can get in touch and communicate. As well, if something's going on in your life and it's big or small, or if you just want to say something, or if you're scared about something, you want to get it off your chest. If there's something that you feel like me bringing up on here could be of help or service, I'm going to try to do a better job of doing more solo episodes. It's been hard for me. For some reason, this doing solos, it takes a lot of stress. It creates a lot of stress in me. I don't know what it is. It could just be what's going on right now and just the busyness of life. I don't know. It used to be a little easier for me, Have you tried the Heelys? But it's just gotten tougher over the years, and so. But maybe that will change. But yeah, I do want to be able to continue to have just more of a personal relationship, and maybe that's something that I need to pray about. And can pray about. So anyway, love you guys. The hotline, 985-664-9503. Let's get to some calls.
Hey, Theo, this is Jacob from Cincinnati area.
What's up, Jacob? Nice to hear from you. Sorry you guys just lost Trey Hendrickson there. I saw that. But blessings onward, baby.
I saw your Instagram story talking about busboys, so I used to be a busboy back in high school.
Thank you for your service, brother.
My sophomore and my junior year at a pretty high-end restaurant. And I think the craziest thing that happened to me there, well, I saw some tits once, but that's not,
That's normal shit, bro. That's street shit. You could see a tit anywhere, bro. Close your eyes, open them bitches. Might see one. Onward.
I don't know, man. I'm more of a butt guy myself, but
Bro, a butt is just a big tits on the back, bro, with no nipples, with no milk in them. That's all a butt is. Let's hear it.
This one day I was working and I agreed at this table and this lady was mad. She's like, "Can I have a lobster bisque?" I said, "Yeah, let me grab my waitress real quick." And she started ripping my ass. She's like, "You don't need to go tell her this and tell her that. Just go get me the lobster bisque." And I was like, all right. Well, some time goes by and she gets up to go to the restroom. So I go over there to check on the brother. And he says, "Hey man, how old are you?" I said, "I'm 16, sir." He's like, "Oh, never mind." I said, "Well, why do you ask?" He said, "Oh, my wife loves redheads." I forgot to mention I'm a ginger. But I'm assuming that he wanted me to have sex with his wife in front of him. And, I don't think I would have done it. Maybe for the right price and shit. But yeah. Anyways, Theo, I love you, man.
Love you too, brother. Praise God. And you almost got a sex trafficked or whatever there by an urban couple. And that's the kind of shit that's happening, bro. When you at high end shit, anything could happen, bro. You might get sex trafficked or whatever. When you at a low end place, where if you at if you working at a Subway or something like that, or more of like a lower tier fast, you're lucky if somebody tries to touch your ass or whatever or something. Or somebody tries to fucking put their hand in your pants real fast and pull it out and get a quick sniff of your dick, boy. But if you at a high-end place, you might actually get trafficked, Not some fucking hand-sniffing dick monkey over there trying to rub on you or whatever. But what I'm saying is this, dude. Yeah, they wanted that ginger, boy. They wanted that fucking little firework. You feel me? They wanted that fucking spicy candle. But that's okay, bro. That's the kind of shit. When you work high-end shit, you at least get job opportunities, bro. I always tell my friends, if you're working in a high-end place, you might get a job opportunity, bro. Hey, bro, thanks for your service, bro, type shit. We out, boy. BLM, dude. GLM, too. Kinda. All right, let's hear this.
Hey, what's up, Theo? Love from New Jersey. This is Charlie. I was a busboy at my brother's steakhouse, and the best part about being a busboy is you can be fed. You got a lot of food in the back there, so you can snag on the food. And, being a busboy might not be the best job, but be the best busboy you can be.
Bro, what are you, fucking Richard Nixon or something? Dude, we're just trying to freaking clean up the tables, twin. You feel me, dog? But I got you. But you don't always get food in the back, dude. I worked at this one place and they would have soup, but we could only eat it when it was really hot, bro. If the shit got too kind of cooled off, the dude wouldn't let us eat it. So he liked watching kids eat that hot soup or whatever. That guy was maybe a pedophile or whatever. But we didn't know him that good. We was employees, But yeah, I feel you. You worked at your brother's steakhouse and you got fed, bro? It sounded like you was just over there hanging out, boy. That's fucking gentrification, bro. All right, let's take another call here.
Hey, Theo. This is Ryan. So I used to bus tables at this seafood place, and there's this old guy who came in all the time. We're talking in late 70s, quiet, always sat at the same two-top by the window. Every single visit, he ordered the same thing, a dozen raw oysters and iced tea. Now, if you ever been a busboy, the rule nobody says out loud, if a table leaves and there's food that looks untouched, it's fair game.
Yeah, you can have a little.
So the guy finishes up, pays, leaves, and goes over, I go over to clear the table. And there's still a couple oysters there still sitting in the shelves, and they look perfect.
Oh, bro, them bitches don't look perfect, bro. Going near somebody else's oysters, dude, that's crazy, bro. Let's hear it.
Lemon wedge, cocktail sauce, the whole setup. Honestly, looked like he barely touched them.
Oh, bro. Dog, I don't care if somebody even just a little bit touched an oyster, bro. I ain't even showing up at that thing. Now, a scallop, bro. A scallop is just a fucking big gay oyster, bro. It's just basically like a bear in the gay community or whatever, but amongst shellfish. Let's hear more. Scallops, they suck.
And I'm hungry. I've been running around for like 6 hours. So I look around the dining room real quick. Nobody's paying attention. I grab one of the oysters, hit it with a little lemon, and just slurp it right down there while I'm clearing the plates. A couple minutes later, I'm back in the kitchen, and one of the servers goes, "Hey, did you clear that old guy's oysters table?" I'm like, "Yeah." And she goes, "Did he do his weird thing again?" Now, I'm already nervous, and I'm like, "What weird thing?" And she goes, "Oh, he doesn't actually eat them. He just sucks on them for the flavor and spits them back in the shell." Man, when I tell you, the entire kitchen turned and looked at me, because by that point, the oyster was long gone. The dishwasher just starts laughing and goes, "Bro, you ate a second-hand oyster." And the worst part about it was just everybody knew this guy did that. Like, it was just a known thing about him. Nobody told nobody told me this. So that's the day I learned an important restaurant rule. If a food's still sitting on a customer's plate, there's probably a reason.
Bruh, you can't be eating nobody's oyster like that, bruh. Damn, bruh. I can't even imagine that. Oh, it makes my fucking lungs hurt right now hearing you say that, you bastard. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Why would you do that? I just don't understand why you would do that. God. Bro, that's bad, dog. My buddy used to be like that, boy. My boy Josh, we used to work over there at Morton's Seafood over there on the Chafuncta River down there in Louisiana, Madisonville. And we were bus boys back there and shit, and we was always like trying to finish off a little bit of food of that. And sometimes the shrimps, I didn't notice, the shrimps, if somebody eats a peeled shrimp, sometimes a little bit gets kind of kept down by the tail over there. And he would peel off that last little outside part and just get that last bit of snack off that thing, boy. He was like that, though. He was like that, bro. He got his GED. Let's hear another call on it.
Yo, Theo, this is Jackson. I got a crazy story for you. I was a busboy at the worst Denny's you could possibly imagine.
Oh, which one was it? Every single one? Let's hear more.
I'm talking like just people throwing stuff everywhere. It was a mess.
We know who you're talking about when you say people as well, but let's hear more.
But this one time, this whole group of people, 15 people came in. They seemed nice. They seemed real nice. Apparently it was a graduation. Mm-hmm. And one of the boys just graduated, and the rest of the guys were very happy. They decided that they were going to order the all-you-can-eat pancakes, just one of them. And I had to explain to 15, 17-year-olds that you can't buy just one all-you-can-eat pancakes. You got to buy 15 all-you-can-eat pancakes. Let's just say they beat my ass, and I had to give them all-you-can-eat pancakes.
I don't even believe that story. They beat your ass at a Denny's. But first of all, that might be true. Nobody would even notice. But then you just gave them all-you-can-eat pancakes? I don't even believe that. Thank you for the call. Do you believe that, Trevin?
I mean, shit happens at Denny's, bro.
They beat his ass, and then he's continued to work for the day?
Tears in his eyes.
I don't know. I appreciate the call, Jackson. I just do not believe it. Is it wrong for me to say that, Trevin?
No, I mean, it's a fair assumption.
Okay. And I'm sorry you got hurt if you did get hurt. But I don't think you did. All right.
Theo, my brother, I used to be a busboy / kind of bar back for this steakhouse in Nashville. And I worked there for a year and a half. And basically I would just kind of pick up dishes from the table sometimes and, cut fruit for the bartenders and stuff. But I would clock in at 3:30 in the afternoon, and I would leave at 10:30 at night. And I maybe worked, I maybe did 2 hours of work while I was there. And so after about a year and a half of working there, the manager pulls me into the office one day, and he goes, "Hey man, we're going to eliminate your position. We don't really think that we need a bar back." And I said, you don't. I wasn't even mad. I was like, yeah, I was like, I've been working here for a year and a half, and I don't really know what I do, to be totally honest with you. And I've always imagined that that's what it would be like to work for the federal government. So, yeah, that was my experience.
Amen, man. That's from a guy, Ethan Anderson. Thank you, bro. Yeah, that's dude. I agree. I mean, they just voted to let perverts keep spending money out of a slush fund or whatever. Our government has sold us up the river, brother. So I'm just glad that you had a job even for a little bit. That'll be it. One day we'll be in a museum, even if you had a job just for a week or something. And be like, oh, tell us about what it was like. There'll be 3 people left. That's great, man. That's great stuff, bro. I said, you don't. All right. Let's see what else we got here. There's a great one too that I'm gonna play after this.
I've been a busboy on and off for a while. Currently on.
Type shit, big dog. Stay in the game, bro. Stay in the freaking game, dude. Just wear knee braces or whatever if things are getting bad. Stay in the game.
But the wildest story I had was probably I was working at P.F. Chang's, and I found someone's panties under the table, and I had to get to the back of the kitchen. But, yep.
You had to give them to the back of the kitchen for what, huh? What did they want them? Some perv back there huffing on them bitches, boy. Ugh, been there, Daddy. We've all been there, huh? To be young. Hey, Patty. Have you tried the green chili? All right, let's get one more here. Yeah, dude, the things you'd find under the table, bro. I found a molar under one table one time. We had a dude left his buddy's ashes or whatever from fire, death burning thing or whatever, funerals. Trying to think. Yeah, panties or whatever, bro. And if that's at P.F. Chang's you was at, that shit's popping, though. P.F. Chang's was nice, though. At a certain time, bro, that shit was nice. All right, let's get one more here. I love this one. I think we'll probably finish on this one for now. We'll see. And we might do some more next week, next time we do a solo. I like this. I like kind of seeing what kind of people were doing what. Bus boys, tell me about it. Bus girls, who was out there. Now, we didn't have a lot of bus girls, bro. The busboys had to try to flirt with the hostesses, but we were kind of too low class for them. So really the waiters got the hostesses really to date them. So busboys was always out. That was the thing about being busboys. You were always on your own, bro. You were always this outsider group. You weren't really the kitchen. They didn't respect you to cook. They respected you to carry the food from the cook to the table. That was it. They respected you to have the food for about 7 or 8 seconds. That's as much respect as they gave you when you was a busboy. They didn't respect you to cook it. They didn't respect none of that shit. They didn't respect you. They said for 7 seconds you could carry this over there. That's how amount of respect they have for you. Onward. Here's a call right here. It's from Jason V.
Hi, Theo. I used to be a busboy at a couple different restaurants. The first restaurant was the Burger Bar in Stockbridge, Michigan. It was owned by my Uncle Danny, who was a Vietnam War veteran. He loved Asian women. He used to tell me growing up all the time, he's like, get you an Oriental woman, Jason. They cook, they clean, they don't talk back. He owned the Burger Bar, and I worked with him, and the manager of the Burger Bar was my mom. So I worked with my mom. Uncle Danny was the owner, and my mom was the manager. And my mom had a relationship with her first cousin, Steve. That was the son of my Uncle Danny. And Steve was in the Outlaws Motorcycle Club. And his road name was Pushrod. And I eventually got out of that environment, and I grew up, and I got my own car, and I became a busboy at the Ground Round in Jackson, Michigan.
Round.
I worked a few days a week there. And I worked on kids' night, which was Tuesday night, and they used to have this clown come in, and this clown was named Plinko. Plinko was in his fucking late 40s or 50s or some shit, and he was named after that Price is Right game because he and his mom were like really close, and she fucking died of cancer or some shit, and he just called himself Plinko the Clown. Plinko didn't have a driver's license. I don't know if Plinko was ever legal to drive in the state of Michigan, and I used to have to pick him up for work. My boss would give me like an extra $20 if I would pick up Plinko, and I formed a relationship with him. He would buy me booze all the fucking time. He'd let me smoke cigarettes, and I would pick him up, and he'd put his clown makeup on as we were driving to the ground round, and he would... Basically, I don't think the ground round paid Plinko. I think they paid him in fucking alcohol, because he would just get fucking hammered, and he would make these kids like these fucked up balloon animals, like not even balloon animals, like balloon items. Like he had like a fucking hatchet he would make, and like a balloon machine gun, and he would just be sitting in the back as I was bussing tables, and he would be drinking, and he would be like, I fucking hate kids. And I gave Plinko a ride home. And after I quit the ground round, Plinko actually hooked me up with this dude that he was friends with, and his name was Detroit Rick.
Mm-hmm.
And we used to sell cable to scramblers out of the back of Detroit Rick.
Oh, yeah, cable to scramblers, dude. That shit was hype. Big industry. Onward.
Rick's van. It was like a cash-only thing. I made a lot of money. Then after that, I joined the Army National Guard, and I became a recruiter for the National Guard. I hope this information helps. Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service, Jason V. That's, dude, that is, thank you, bro. Thank you. I was losing hope in humanity and in myself, and you just restored it with a good story. I appreciate that. Sometimes that's all we need, you know? Yeah. Thank you, bro. Thank you for your service, Jason V, and for your service as an Army National Guardsman. That's it. That's it for today. Happy St. Patrick's Day. You know, try the green chilies. Try them on St. Patty's Day. Try them for St. Patty's. Put them in your St. Patty's food. That's a green additive. What else? That's about it. You know, hang in there. We'll keep our heads up. We keep doing our best. We live to fight another day. Busboysmovie.com. That's where you can go get a ticket if you like. Busboysmovie.com. Yeah. Anyway, God bless you guys. Be good to yourselves. Because you deserve it. You know, you do. We have to be good to ourselves, and one day at a time, you know, one day at a time, whatever's going on. If something's tough in your life, you don't think I have to deal with for this my whole life, or I can't do this my whole life, or I can't do that, or this. Just can I do this today? That's been helping me recently. Can I do this today? Can I get through this today? But yeah, thank you guys for paying attention, and I appreciate the support. And gang, have you tried the green chilies? Hey, buddy.
Now I'm just floating on the breeze, and I feel I'm falling like these leaves. I must be cornerstone. Oh.